Hello everyone, today's video is once again sponsored by Amazon UK's App Store. For those who don't know, the Amazon App Store is where you can download and play all of your favorite mobile games and save up to 20% on all of your in-app purchases using Amazon coins. Something I use, something I believe in, and as a gift to all of my UK viewers, you can click the link below to get a free 500 Amazon coins, which can go towards War of the Visions or Final Fantasy Brave Exvius or any other game that you play on the Amazon App Store. Thanks again to Amazon for sponsoring today's video. Let's get to the action. Hello again everyone, welcome back to another episode of FFBE War of the Visions. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Duel arena that's in the PvP mode of this game and kind of talking about the team that I'm going with and how I'm using it to help me dominate that stage and kind of give some general advice on how you can do some Duel arena team building to help give yourself an edge in PvP, because that's probably the most competitive content that we have right now in the game, and so I figured, I'd help give you some pointers that I've used to help make my victories a little bit easier. So if you didn't notice, in the Duel arena we do have a brand new stage, and in my opinion it's really cool. It's this new Wastelands Canyon, and it has the map effect of increasing the range of your abilities by +1, which means that gunners and rangers and people with ranged attacks of any kind are going to be super deadly on this stage. Now, I don't have Lucia. Of course, Lucia would be super ideal on this stage, but what I do have instead is Frederica, and she's kind of gonna be my super queen for this particular stage, because yeah, there are some pointers and things that you can take advantage of to really bend this stage to your will. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I've got going on for my party, and this is disregarding unit bonus, of course, because I'm more concerned with winning than I am with whether or not I get bonus. I know it's probably not efficient, but I don't really care. So first things first, let's take a look at our Duel formation. Let's see. Do I have the right party up? Oh. Well, let's go to the correct party. Okay, this one is built properly. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this build. I have Thancred as my tank, I have Frederica as my sniper, and I have Ayaka as my general nuisance healer white mage character. And these are not the best builds in the game. They don't have the best equipment. For example, I still have like these stupid like rhinestone ring things, and they're terrible and they give like no stats, but they kind of sit there at least, so it's something. It makes me feel better about having basically nothing. But yeah, that's what I got. So as far as the rest of the build goes for this particular party, I have Thancred equipped with a Lionheart +5 because I was committed to the Thancred. He's who I wanted the most, in the game when the game came out, and so I kind of doubled down on making sure that he was absolutely perfect, and I have him spec'd to the Gunbreaker job. I will say that this is actually an arena where he can put in a lot of work as a Dragoon, and that's because of the verticality of the stage. So he is able to jump up spaces to hit targets he wouldn't otherwise be able to hit, so that is something to keep in mind. And that goes for any Dragoon character. If you have somebody with the Dragoon sub-job, you can consider them. The problem, of course, is that they have to make it across the battlefield. The good news in Thancred's case is that he can jump like 5 squares away and just crush somebody's hopes and dreams, so that does help him. If other Dragoons have similar distances on their skills, then that helps. If they don't, then, it is what it is. I have Golem as his equipped Esper because it gives the best defensive stats of any of my Esper choices, and I have a Vow of Love as my card for him, and I do have it maxed out, finally. It's got that 30% up attack for the whole party, which helps Frederica quite a bit. It also gives Hate up, and it also gives him Slash attack up 20, so it's basically the best card you could ever equip on Thancred. The other runner-up card, not necessarily just for Thancred, but another card I considered using was Shiva, just for the evasion 10. The extra evasion can make your team extra cancerous, to make your team a little more likely to survive some of those nuke skills that would otherwise one-shot you even through defenses. Now, Frederica, I feel like any of the gun events that we've had have been really cruel to us in terms of, recipe drop rates and things like that, and that's why I haven't been farming those events. They've been such a pain in the butt to try and get, gun recipes and gun materials that have kind of just, you know, kind of pumped the brakes on that a little bit. But what I was able to do was cobble together a Vega +3. Vega is an SR gun, which means that it requires fewer materials to get to the +3 or +4, +5, whatever you want to do. And it also gives some of that neat missile attack up passive. So, you know, if you can't get the Ras Al Ghathi, which for me is like a long-term goal, I guess, to get Ras Al Ghathi up to a +5, because that would be super sweet. For now, I'm going to go with this Vega +3 instead. It gives a moderate amount of attack, a little HP, some accuracy, which is really helpful, and the negative critical modifier is only -2, so it's not that bad, and it gives that attack stat, which is great. I have a pretty bad dodge hat, 2 evade, so, you know, that's not going to be doing a lot for us. And then I have her TMR on her, which is for the HP and the accuracy and the crit, so this is going to help us hit our targets, especially if they're high evasion, and deal some extra critical damage. And I did forget to mention I had Thancred's TMR on. If you don't have that for him, use pretty much any other armor. Yeah, use what you got. I have Odin equipped as her Esper because Odin within his skill tree gives evasion and it gives some man-eater, so perfect for the arena. And it also gives a lot of attack, so really is the ideal Esper. And then for the card, I have Frederica's Dream. Mine is awakened twice, so it gives her the lightning attack up 5 and missile attack up 24. So this is really the perfect card to have equipped for her, and it will do the most to increase her damage. Overall, she does have some pretty solid stats. Her attack is close to 600, which is not mind-blowing, but it is very solid. And I have her spec'd into the Ranger sub-job, and that's because I want her to have access to some of the bow skills, like Charge, Sharpshoot, and Supercharge, and that's because those attacks can hit different elevations, while her gunner skills have a harder time reaching. You can, of course, run her as a gunner, and she'll have the advantage of, I think she has longer range as a gunner, so it's easier for her to snipe people literally across the map and in spawn. It's kind of ridiculous. And if you wanted to do that, you would want to make sure that you had whichever traits gave the increase to range. I'm trying to remember which one it is. I think is it Ranger Lore or Concentrate? Aha, so Ranger Lore can let you reach across the map. Oh, and her Concentrate one can. I actually want to try this. So we're gonna do a couple of these, and so I'm gonna go ahead and take both of these and just see what I can do from the middle slot, and see if I can't snipe people as a gunner across the entire map. So anyways, that gives me +2 range. The map gives me +1 more range, so I should probably be able to snipe just about anybody from spawn. Now, real quick regarding Ayaka's build, I have Shiva because it gives good stats. I have this crown thingy, what's it called? The circlet, because you can build it more easily. It's cheaper. This one gives evade 6 in total. It's cheaper to make than the hat, and I have Night Seeker from Ishtola's TMR for the HP and the magic. So nothing real complicated on the build there. She does have the secret orders, and that gives her some agility up, so she's able to get her casts quicker, and it also gives slash attack up to help Thancred do some more damage. So that's what I'm going with on the general build. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some battlefield gameplay and see how it goes. Alrighty, here we go. Let's see how Frederica does. Yeah, she can snipe across the entire map. Oh, goodness. And you can do this with pretty much any gunner, honestly. You could do it with a gunner like Ryu, for example. He's an MR rarity. He has a lot of the same traits and passives and stuff, so you could do the same thing. You can snipe people across the map. It's hilarious. Let's see, who's she gonna... Oh, she's got Council instead. I'm like, dude, I want to see her snipe somebody else. The drawback, of course, is that as soon as people get down from that elevated platform, it's going to be a little bit harder for her to hit people because she can't shoot down or up as a gunner. So, you know, that is a drawback. And also, if your opponent gets full lifed, that's also a drawback, but luckily that missed. So, you know, that Ishtola is in an annoying spot. Not going to be able to reach her with Frederica without moving. So let's see what happens next. Oh, Thancred's gonna go do nothing. Ooh, get sniped. All right, yep, Fina's down. And the AI is a little bit stupid for this map because there's pretty much only one way to get down for each side. And the AI kind of piddles around, and they have no idea what they're doing. But Ayaka's there to basically just keep my team pumped up, moving fast and in the fight, and then Frederica is there to snipe people across the map, because that's great. But after this battle, I think we'll go ahead and try it with her on Ranger and see how she does in that case. Can she still reach across the map? Can she still one-shot people as effectively? Because, I mean, that worked really well. She just shot 2 people. They didn't have a chance to do anything. They couldn't really get down from their platform. But yeah, this map is clearly designed to sell Lucia. So, you know, don't buy into the hype, you know, if you weren't into Lucia to begin with. But, you know, do keep in mind that this was made strictly to sell Lucia and to make Frederica people happier. All right, let's go ahead and try this again. Alrighty, so this time I've set Frederica as a Ranger class, and I took away her range boosting passives just to see what she would function like on the battlefield, because I know she'll be able to reach better when people are down in the valley, but she won't be able to do that, which that may have... Nope, Ayaka survived that. That's pretty great. Yeah, so I don't know if she's going to be able to map people quite as well, but she'll have like vertical reach that she didn't otherwise have. And then we'll try her as a ranger with those range passives after this to see how she does. Ayaka's healing herself because she got clapped pretty hard. We can just speed this up a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so she can reach Gafgarian, which it... Oh, she was hitting Medina. Okay, so that's nice because she could hit that Medina, and the Medina couldn't hit her at all. But of course, yeah, she's not hitting people in spawn, but she is hitting people as they come up. So I actually think one of the better combinations you could do if you happen to have 2 gunners is to run one gunner as a gunner and the other as a ranger. The gunner who has an easier time mapping people, and then the ranger who can hit people down below. Or you could just do 2 rangers and do some of the range boosting passives. So we'll see how this works. Because so far we're still doing great. The Frederica tried and failed to inflict damage, and we can still reach. Yep. Okay, that's a little broken to even have just 1 gunner on your team against people who have 1 gunner and you have a healer and a tank and stuff like that. It's working okay. All right, let's try once more, only this time as a ranger again, but this time with the 2 range boosting passives to see how she behaves differently. Alrighty, so here's our 3rd attempt with Frederica, and she has the maximum range that she can have with her abilities, so we're gonna see how she does. Oh yeah, she can just map people. What an absolute meme. And now that I've killed their their only gunner, they're gonna spend their whole time running at me and dying, so that's great. I'll go ahead and speed up the process of that happening. Yeah, so actually probably the best build to do with someone like Frederica or Lucia in PvP specifically, not necessarily in all content, but in PvP, is to go ahead and build them as rangers and then increase their range, because with these 2 range passives, she has +3 to her total range, and then the map gives +1 more, so she has +4 to her total range, and when you combo that with her ranger abilities, she could just doot people from across the map. It's pretty great. It's pretty great, so I'm a fan of that, and yeah, I mean, I think the only people that you really need to be afraid of or avoid in PvP are the people who are running 2 gunners, because I don't think, unless you yourself are running 2 gunners, I just don't think you're going to be able to hack it against them. But if you're like me and you just have 1 gunner that you're running with, support them as much as you can, draw attention away, you know, with other people like Thancred or Ayaka, and help support her, and then just let her rain destruction across the battlefield. And again, this is something you can do with Ryu, you can do it with Frederica, you can do it with Lucia. Anybody who's gunner or ranger, they're really going to excel on this stage because they can just reach so far. They can reach so far, and then Thancred is blocking the walkway down there. In fact, it's probably best to put Thancred on the right side over where like Frederica's standing, so that he's more likely to go down the ramp and block it from melee attackers from coming up. I think there's basically nothing that can come up this side of the ramp. So yeah, thanks for the aimed fire, Frederica. Thancred needs it so much. So this is, yeah, this setup I'm pretty excited about, because as you can see, my Frederica and my Ayaka were both able to tank Frederica's from the other side of the map. Which, you know, that's probably not a must, not a requirement, but it is going to be super, super helpful if whoever your gunner is, they're built to at least tank a hit if you can. Otherwise, you know, the other strategy to do with PvP, if you're worried about this particular arena, because it does super, super favor gunners and rangers, and it's designed to sell Lucia. If you are worried about this stage, you can always look through your opponents and just pick out the easy ones to take on. Because this rate here that says, you know, 1.00, and then if you scroll down, it'll say 0.99. As long as your opponent is 1.00, you will get the full benefit of the win. So just look for whoever looks the easiest in your opponent's list. Like right now, I think there's somebody who's rank 44. Rank 44 with a Lucia, I mean, this is going to be easy, because one of them is a Mont, who's basically a dead slot, and one of them is Orlando, who can't reach, you know, from his side either. So I'm going to have all the time in the world to snipe people, and I know that his, you know, level 50 Lucia is not going to be able to kill me from across the map, so, you know, this might be somebody that I would take on if I was concerned about losing with the party that I have. So with that, I think that just about covers what I wanted to talk about with this brand new arena. I'm excited about this map because, you know, I have Frederica. I have level 99 Frederica, and she absolutely slaps. And so for me, you know, this is an exciting stage, and I'm having fun with it. But, you know, it's important to know how to deal with it. If you don't have a gunner or a ranger yourself, the way to go is either to throw, to take mages or dragoons or ninjas who can traverse a little bit better or reach a little bit better, or otherwise just wait until the next arena comes out, because yeah, I mean, it's cancer if you don't have a gunner. But I think most people are going to have Ryu, and he's pretty easy to build up. See, mine is LB4, so I could throw him in with my PvP party and replace Thancred, and he would probably do more. His drawback, of course, is that he doesn't have the ranger sub job, which is helpful for, you know, the different height elevation levels, but you could still totally use him if you wanted to as like your gunner to snipe people from spawn. Mine's also not as tanky as Frederica, obviously. It's probably down to gearing, but ultimately that's what I would consider for this particular PvP map. And yeah, that just about covers it as far as builds and advice for this map goes. Let me know what you think of this video down in the comments below, and I'll see everybody in the next video.